In this video, I'm going to show you the changes for Cloud 29, most recent release. So to see what I'm going to be showing you in this video, just check your Help menu and make sure it says Cloud.29 here. If that doesn't say that, if it says a lower number than 29, then you need to go and click your browser refresh button, up here. Or you can go to, you can also refresh it with Help Reload, and that should get you the latest version of the software. Okay, there's a couple of bug fixes, but most of the changes in the version have to do with writing out PDFs and adding more options for you in terms of what you can write into your PDF files. So I have an elephant here. This is a crochet project with Super Saver yarn. And in order to download this, I'm going to go to Project, Download. And then there are settings here that have to do with the picture and how it's drawn. I'm going to click on Download. Then we go to PDF. Okay. And in here now we have a lot of other options. Okay. I've been in here already. You can include or not include a cover page for your project PDF. And the cover page will have some text at the top and an optional picture, so you can have like a picture of the entire project shown on your cover page. So this one here turns the picture image on and off on the cover page. This tells it whether or not to include the date on the cover page. The title here is generally filled in with the name of the project. So if that's not what you want, or you want to title it something else, you can change that. Put your designer name in here, and then whatever description you want to put in, that will also show on your cover page. Okay. Then now for the graph, you can completely not have a graph at all. If you want to just have the cover page or something like that and not print anything else out, you could do that. So you can have no graph. You could fit the graph to a single page, which is what the default option has been in the past. So the graph that gets written to the PDF was always fitted to a single page. You can now do a full-size graph, and that may be multiple pages. This is the same thing that was written out to when you printed something. If you did project print, then you would get a multi-page thing of your graph, printout of your graph. So you can now do that to PDF. So this may be multiple pages. This is the type of thing that you could then cut out and tape together and make a large graph if you have a large something. Okay. Color key can be turned on and off, although in general I just leave that on. And then you can add written instructions to this. Now let's talk about colors in just a second. But there are crochet options, written directions for that, which I've picked single crochet, right-handed. There's now a left-handed option, and there's a left-handed option for these other ones also, and also for C to C. So there are left-handed options now also. You can also put in a yardage estimate. That is shown in another video, so I won't talk about that. I'm going to pick single crochet, right-handed, and then I want to talk about the colors here. Now, this top one here, show text, color, and color name or symbol only. That's what I've always done in the past. So if you have the symbols on in your graph, then it would use the color symbol for that. Otherwise, it would write the color name out in the instructions. Now we have some other options. You could show the color as a colored box only. So there'd be no text there at all, no name or symbol, just a colored box. So the instructions might say 12, and then they would have a color box there that would show white or gray or black or whatever. You'd only want to use this if you have very distinctive colors and you can tell the difference between all the color boxes. Then you can also pick this one, which would show either the text color name or the symbol, if you have symbols turned on, in a colored box. So you have both of those there. And so that's a good option too. This one shows the text color name and the symbol along with the number of holes. So in the colored box, in addition to the color name or symbol, you're going to get 12 or 23, 23 A or 23 red or something like that, and that will all be in a little colored box. I like this one the best actually, for a lot of things because the instruction is right there and it's all enclosed in that same colored box, and so I kind of like that one. You can also, if you don't need a color name or a symbol, you could also use this one down here. If the colors are all distinctive, then you can just show the number of whatever it is, stitches or holes or whatever that you're working. That would show the number of that just in the colored box itself with no color name or symbol. And I'm going to pick that one for this one because we have just 4 colors in this one in this chart, and they're very distinctive from one another. They're white, light gray. Um, I think there's a darker gray and a black. So I can tell the difference between all of those. So I'm going to do this, and that's going to condense the instructions down to fewer pages because I don't have to write out the name of the color along the line on the lines. So I'm going to pick that one for this one. So we've got crochet selected, and this down here at the bottom shows you what your selections are. You've got cover page included with image and date, full graph, that's a full multiple page graph, color key, written instructions, a single crochet with the right hand, color shown as color number in box. So you can look at this right before you click the download button. Just make sure the things that you wanted to select are there. So let's click download. Okay, now that downloads it to your device. I'm on a desktop computer here. Um, so some people will have to go and find the download and double click it here. Mine is set up to automatically open it, and I have like a second screen here, so it's opened it over here in this PDF. Okay, so this is my title page here, and we've got our title here, name, date, and whatever description we have, and then it fits it takes this chart directly from whatever you're displaying on the screen, whatever you were editing, what it looked like when you were editing it, and shrinks it down to fit on this page. Okay. Then we selected to have the full graph. So we've got a larger graph here, which is done just like the project print is done. So we've got strips basically of let's go back up here. So it's doing the top left and then the bottom of that. So that's the whole left side. Then it's doing the middle section here, top and bottom. And then it's doing the right side, top and bottom. Okay. Then we've got our color key here. And then we've got our written directions here. So we've got our written directions here for single crochet. So, we chain 114 in white. And so what I've done is I've eliminated the color name and symbol from these directions. And all I see is this colored box now with a number of things that we do of that color in it. So this just takes a few pages then to write the whole thing out. So that's a good way to condense the whole thing. Okay, let's put this back over here. Okay, now I'm going to open a project with a lot of colors. What am I doing? Okay, open. And this is a LaTeX project. Let's see. This is this one. Okay. Okay, so this is a LaTeX project. Worked with Hirschner's rug yarn on 5 mesh canvas. And let's go and do the download for it. Download here. Now this has a lot of colors in it. Actually, let me show you, see how many colors. It's got 40 colors in it. So there's lots of different colors in here. And so in this case, since we're going to have blues that are close to other blues and grays that are close to other grays and colors that may be difficult to tell, if you just printed out the chart with just the color squares, it'd be very difficult sometimes to tell which color is which. So we definitely want to add a symbol to this. So we're going to say print symbols over the colors. Okay. And then let's see, that's every 10. That'll probably be okay. And then let's go to our download. PDF. Okay. So we can have this is also digitized from an image on Pixabay, so I'll probably just leave that. And then our graph, we can do a full-size graph, which could be multiple pages. Our color key is going to be included. And then in this one, let's try a different option here. Let's show the text, color name, and the symbol. We're going to need the symbol because we can't tell just from the color itself, because there's so many colors and they could be really close to one another. Then for this, if you don't like looking at the chart, you can go in and turn on written directions, and you can do something like this. Let's see, if I was working my latch hook rug, I might go from left to right on every row or right to left on every row, depending on how I would like to do it. I'm going to pick left to right on every row, and then I'm going to click download. Okay, and then that's going to load in here. Just a second. Okay, so now we've got that one loaded in here. Let's close that. Okay, so now we have our cover page here, which has a little bit of text, whatever we typed in there. It has a sized version of the entire projects put onto the first page. And then we have our large graph. And this is quite a bit larger than the other one, so it's going to take more pages. But we see that we've got symbols in here so we can tell exactly what's what. So we've got left side, middle sections, and then more middle section, and then the right side, like that. Okay, there's our color key with our 40 colors on it. And then here's our written directions. So we selected to put the color box around both the number and the symbol for the color in this case, because we needed the symbol. And what I usually do when I'm doing latch hook and there's a lot of colors is I go and label all of my bags of Hirschner's comes in these little plastic bags of yarn, and I just take a black marker and put the symbol on each bag so I know what it is. After a while, you learn which one is which, but initially it's good to just mark those with things. And then you can go through them row by row like this without looking at the graph and cross each one of these things off as you go. And I think that's easier than than doing it by looking at the graph, although it can be done by looking at the graph. It's less complicated, seems to me, if it's written out. Okay, so that's another option. So, and if there's a craft, I only have special crochet options, and then I have these generic options. If you're looking, so if you're doing some other craft, and you would just like a list of the colors, that you can cross off one by one, you can just pick that generic option, and have it write the generic instructions out for that. Okay. One other example here. Let's go and look at this bunny blanket here. Okay, now this is corner to corner. Let's expand that a little bit like that. Okay, and in corner to corner, when we go and do our download, you want to make sure that you pick your numbering also from corner to corner and go from the corner that you're going to go. If you're right-handed, the instructions, if you're going to get written instructions, are going to go from the bottom right. If you're left-handed, they're going to go from the bottom left. So you need to pick these. That has to do with how it's written on the chart itself. And then we would go and do our download, PDF. And then we could go back up here and pick C to C, right-handed. So we're going from the bottom right, and we would change this. Maybe take that out. Maybe I don't need a description for this one. By the way, if you don't put anything in here, then it will just not write that section out on the output. So for instance, if I turn off date, it just won't show that. If I leave description empty, then it won't write anything on the cover page. Okay, let's try this then. Oh, Did I do the graph? I did the full size. Okay. So let's try that. Okay, so that was small, uploaded really quick. So here we don't have description on here and we don't have date. So if you just leave those things out, don't put any text in the box for that particular section and it won't write it there. So you could just have a cover page that just shows the picture on it or just has text on it and no picture, however you want to do it. Okay, so there's our bunny. It's small enough that it actually fits on one page anyway. Okay, and here's our directions going from the bottom right corner, all the way across and up to the top. Okay. All right. So that's about it. Those are basically the changes. And you can sit down and play around with that and see if you can come up with a way that you would like to have it print out. Also, I also use something called Knit Companion, which is really nice. You can load a PDF in it, like on your phone or on your tablet. It's an app. Knit Companion. There are other ones out there, I'm sure too, but somebody pointed that particular one out to me. So that's really nice to load. You can take the PDF once it's generated from a grid designer and import it into Knit Companion or another application like that. And then there's a way you can set little crosshairs on it to show your position and things like that. You can also blow up the chart. If the chart is smaller, you can expand it and make it larger, so you can see it better on your phone or on your whatever device you're on. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.